We're going to move on to listing. So we're going to list directly in InventoryLab. Let's go ahead and I'll share my screen again. All right, so this is InventoryLab's list page, and this is list 2.0, our newest iteration of our tool. So now we're ready to create new Amazon listings or replenish existing ones. Let's go ahead and start a batch. Batch is kind of like a first draft of what you will be sending into Amazon to list. Um, let's go ahead and you can click the plus sign here, or you can click start a batch. Defaults to the date and time. Then below that, we can choose either FBA or MFN. Again, FBA is when we send it to the Amazon warehouse. MFN is when we send it directly to the customer ourselves. So let's do FBA. Now we can click our batch settings. We have our ship from address as well as our shipping contact. If you need to add a new one, you just click this plus sign right here. And then below that, we have box contents. Now, box contents you'll want to turn on. If you turn box contents off, just so you know, you will be subject to a manual processing fee by Amazon. What box contents is, it's when you let Amazon know ahead of time what to expect in which box. So you can do either on using feed, where you send it to Amazon electronically, or you can use on using 2D barcodes, where that allows you to create a scannable barcode, which goes on the outside of your box label. And Amazon scans that label, and that's how they figure out, and that's how you let them know what is in each box and how much quantity. And below that, we can have our min max preferences on. This is if you use a repricer. If you are a Seller 365 subscriber, you do have access to a repricer as well called Smart Repricer, which integrates directly with InventoryLab. So for this, you can either do not capture if you don't use one. You can send to Amazon if you use their repricer, or you can save it to InventoryLab in order to send it to Smart Repricer. Let's go ahead and save it to InventoryLab. Now below that, we have our buy list import, and this is where we're going to either select from Scoutify, which is what we were doing before. If we look here, we can see Andrea's list, or we can select it from a file on our computer. I'm going to go ahead and select a file for my computer because I have something already set up. All right, now we start our batch, and we can go ahead and map out our upload. It usually is it's really good at getting the upload mapping for you. The only required fields for a buy list are ASIN, list price, and quantity. Everything else is optional. We do have min and max prices selected to include, so those are also required on this upload, but if I turn that off, it would not be required. Let's go ahead and validate my buy list. All right, and it's letting us know that these already exist in our inventory. So we can either replenish the item or we can create a new MSKU. So we can either use new MSKU, and then at the bottom we can either do it, or we can either do it one by one here manually, or we can do it at the bottom where we can replenish all. We can use new MSKUs, or we can use MSKUs from a buy list. So these are the bulk replenishment options. All right, let's go ahead and use the MSKUs from the buy list. Looks like these two didn't have MSKUs, but there we go. We're able to replenish, and let's go ahead and start that Amazon check. Now it's letting us know that the MSKU already exists in a different condition. So we're going to actually have to create a new MSKU for this. Let's go ahead and add the buy list to our batch. There we go. And without any, um, and we didn't get any errors, so we're good to go. Now, since we did create a new MSKU, it is pending offer creation. Every time you create a new MSKU, it takes at minimum 10 minutes for Amazon to create the listing for you and send it back to InventoryLab in order to move to the next stage. So at the stage that we're at right now, we're at Find It. Then we're going to move on to Box It, where we prep and box our items, and then we create shipments for our items at the last stage. So we can't move on to from the Find It stage until we get all those pending offers created. Let's go ahead and add items manually, just an item manually really quick. Let's type in unicorn. Let me see here. We have a few options. We have a bunch of matches directly in our FBA inventory for unicorn. If I scroll down, we can see that there are options that are in the Amazon catalog as well. So the FBA means it already exists in my catalog, this ASIN, whereas these ones exist in the Amazon catalog and don't exist in my inventory yet. So let's go ahead and just select one from the Amazon catalog here. And we can see if we pop this out, we can see all the product offers. We can see the product history. It's going to let us know that it might slow down the UI when we do the product history. But here's that graph again where we can see the product pricing history as well as the rank. And then below that, we have our research links. So let's go ahead and go back over here. So we have our purchasing information where we enter in our quantity. We can enter in our cost per unit here. Then we can enter in the condition as well. We can enter in our condition notes, then a supplier. We can enter in a purchase date. It is optional as well as a supplier. It's not required. And then over here, we have our minimum and maximum prices. Now, these were automatically priced for us based on our settings right here. We can see that if we go to our list settings, we can actually have auto pricing turned on. So that's also an option for when you are manually listing products through InventoryLab. So that's how we got our minimum and maximum price automatically filled out for us. We have our label owner as well as our prep owner and then our expiration date. It is optional for this product. If it weren't optional, we would let you know that it is required. Then our hazmat information, if it's regulated, if there's a battery, and then we can enter in our tax code. Now at the very bottom, we can see our shipping estimate as well as our price, our return on investment. That ROI is going to be negative, it looks like, as well as our net profit. So it looks like this item for the cost that we put in is not profitable, but let's go ahead and just change that up so we can see what that looks like. There we go. So our ROI has changed as well as our net profit. I'm going to add it to the batch. And again, it's going to give me that pending offer creation warning. So I cannot move on to the next stage until I actually create this offer. But so we can move on, let's go ahead and delete these items from our batch. Okay, now that we have items that are already existing and they aren't creating a new M SKU, we can actually print our labels if we'd like to. If we click this kebab right here, these three dots, we can either print all labels if we're using a thermal label printer, or we can print all 30 up labels if we're using just a regular printer. So this is what it looks like. You want to make sure that you have your pop-ups turned, your pop-up blocker turned off for InventoryLab. But here are our labels. All right, now let's move on to the box it stage. We can either submit our listing details and finish our listing in Seller Central if we want, then we'd be done. We captured all that accounting information still, but maybe we want to do our, our packing and prep in Seller Central. We can do that by just submitting our listing details. But we can continue on to the box it stage as well. So let's continue on to the box it stage. And let's start boxing our batch. So once you get to this stage, though, you are not able to edit your quantities until you pay for shipping. So at the next stage, you cannot make any quantity edits. So you want to make sure that everything fits in your boxes before you actually get to that stage. You will be able to you will be able to edit your quantity after you pay for shipping, but only in Seller Central. So let's go ahead and start boxing our batch. Hey, we are now at the box it stage. So if we look up here, we actually have two packing groups. That's because Amazon is letting us know that these items cannot be shipped together. This item is an oversized item, so they want to receive it separately than these standard size items. And let's go ahead and start packing stuff. We'll start boxing stuff. So let's go ahead and let's do group 2 really quick, and let's use quick box. So this is especially good if you only have one item in your group and you want to do case packing. This is how you do case packing now. So I'm going to click quick box, and let's go ahead and enter in our box dimensions as well as our how many boxes we want. So let's do 5 boxes and let's do 3 units per box because 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then we can add our weight as well. Then we have the option to print packing ID labels. Packing ID labels let me know what box goes to which shipment in the next stage. So let's go ahead and create those boxes. Make sure again you have those pop-up blocker turned off for InventoryLab. And these are our packing ID labels. So this is letting us know that this box is going to be packing group 2, box 1, packing group 2, box 3, box 4, box 5. Let's go ahead and pack the group 1 as well. Go ahead and take advantage of that 5-box rule for the $0 inbound shipping fees for Amazon. So for FBA, Amazon does offer an option to have $0 inbound placement fees as long as you have 5 identical boxes, and they have to have the same weights and dimensions as well. So the easiest way to do that is to go through here and let's go ahead and set up those 5 boxes. So we have 25 of this one, and it looks like we're in packing group 1 and box 1. So let's go ahead and add 5 to box 1. Then for this one, let's add 4 to box 1. Now we want to enter in our weights and dimensions. So let's add that. Save the dimensions, and now we're going to do something called copy box. So looking at these 3 dots right here, I can copy the box. It's going to let me know the max amount of boxes I can make of these copies, and then I'll click OK. And there we go. We have our 5 boxes. If I ever need to remove something from a box, I can actually go ahead and click these X's right here. There are a lot of options for when you can streamline this process too. So definitely check out our other courses on that to go into more detail. All of our stuff is boxed. Let's go ahead and click next. This is where we're going to select if we want to do just a standard small parcel shipment, or if we want to do less than truckload, which is a pallet shipment. Let's go ahead and just do a standard shipment and confirm our shipping mode. Now this next step can also take about 5 minutes, so just hang in there, sit back, relax, refill your coffee, have a snack maybe. All right, and we are now at the ship it stage. So we have several placement options here. Our one with the $0 placement fees, inbound placement fees is right here at the bottom. See, we have a lot of shipments with that. But we can see here we have a few other options. If we want to see the total cost of the shipping, we can actually select which placement option we want to look at. We can see the total cost right here. So definitely go through and compare those. If you'd like to use a different carrier, non-partner carrier, you can actually do that by selecting up here. You can either do DHL, FedEx, USPS, even UPS non-partnered if you'd like to get, sometimes these places have a special rate, maybe that's cheaper than using the partner carrier. If that's the case, then you purchase shipping through their website and then come back here to get your box labels. Before we confirm the placement, we can see our packing groups where they belong. So shipment 1, it looks like packing group 1 will be here. Packing group 1, box 1, packing group 1, box 2, and then down here, packing group 2, box 1, etc. Let's go ahead and confirm that placement, and then we accept all fees after we review everything here. You can see the ship from address as well as the deliver to, and our total cost at the top. So once we accept all fees and shipment charges, we can purchase all shipping labels. All right, and we have placement option 1 confirmed. We have some options here to either close our batch, print box and shipping labels, and print our packing lists. Let's go ahead and print those box and shipping labels. Select our shipments. I want to make sure that you have pop-up blockers turned off for this website. And here we go. Here are our box labels as well as our shipping labels. If we had 2D barcodes, this is when the 2D barcodes would pop up on the box labels like this. All right, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this IL Basics course. I hope you got a lot out of it. And please, please, please feel free to join us for any of our other customer coaching courses. We'd love to see you there. Thanks again, and see you next time.